Namaskar and welcome to this edition of Insight. I am Charu Karthike. In today's edition, we take a look at the prevailing political scenario in the country. While the BJP has already been gung-ho about Mission 272 Plus revolving around its Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi, many believe who could be the Congress's Prime Ministerial candidate Rahul Gandhi yesterday gave his first ever interview to a media organization, news organization. Dainik Bhaskar published his interview in which he expressed his readiness, did not say it in as many words that he will be the Prime Ministerial candidate, but expressed his readiness to serve any role that his party decides for him. Apart from that, the third front has been in the motion, or the idea of, or attempts at creating a third front has been in motion for a very long time. And a fourth force, which is the Aam Aadmi Party. A lot of people are also saying that the way Aam Aadmi Party has been showing its ambition to contest a large number of seats as far as the Lok Sabha post 2014 is concerned, makes it a player to be worth watching at least. What do all these contests say about the Lok Sabha post 2014? Which way is the politics in the country headed? Something that I'll be trying to find out in this edition of Insight. And joining us in the studio today is a distinguished panel of experts, senior journalist Mr. G Suresh, with him senior journalist Mr. T.R. Ramachandran, and well-known political analyst Professor Subrata Mukherjee. Welcome to Insight, all of you. Mr. Suresh, first of all, I would like to begin with you. Yesterday, we saw for the first time that Rahul Gandhi gave an interview to a detailed interview. This has never been done by any media organization till now. Dainik Bhaskar published his interview, and in his interview, he talks about a range of issues. But what was most highlighted was when he said that he's ready to accept any role that his party decides for him. This is probably the first time that he has expressed this sort of readiness as opposed to the reluctance that he had continuously showed, because his partymen, including senior ministers in the central cabinet, in the union cabinet, have always been insisting that we urge Rahul Gandhi to take up the reins and to become the Congress's prime ministerial candidate. Does this change anything for the Congress? Is this likely to change anything for the Congress now?
Well, I think it was a foregone conclusion that he will be the Prime Ministerial candidate. Given the fact that the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, had earlier also said that he was willing to serve under him. And recently he has said that after this he won't be, the Prime Minister, say post 2014 elections, he would not like to be continued. So and also the build-up, if you look at it, the leaders repeatedly, whether it is right from Digvijay Singh, though now he is singing a different tune now, but by and large, if you see from the cadre to the leaders, they have all been demanding, because I believe that right now Congress doesn't have an alternative. It is Rahul Gandhi, because what is considered by the opposition to be his inexperience will be projected by the Congress as his qualification. That he is new, he is fresh, he has not been into all that corruption and everything. He has an image which is because he has never been in power. So except for the fact that, of course, as the vice president of the party, he was in power. Now then he comes with a clean slate, with a clean record, and then over and above that, I think that somewhere within the Congress there is an acceptance that post 2014 maybe they may not be coming to power. And that is why you see a lot of strategies coming up, including the one backing Aam Aadmi Party is part of that strategy. So I think that Congress is well prepared to project him, and you will see that there have been a number of other names also. Priyanka may be brought in, and that all has been refuted now. So it is very clear the way his campaign now, you saw, I don't know, yesterday Mr. Sachin Pilot also released some of the proposed, Ajay Makan released some of the proposed
two posters,
campaign posters, where his crusade against corruption has been highlighted. You see, so I think that they are preparing for a battle royale.
Mr. Suresh, let's talk about the BJP now. The supporters of the BJP, and I've lost count of so many organizations that have come up to promote Narendra Modi's campaign. A lot of things centered around Narendra Modi's projection as the prime ministerial candidate, the Statue of Unity movement. Then there are various other organizations. So these days, the Mission 272 Plus that the BJP, its followers and its admirers are calling it. Now, how imminent does that Mission 272 Plus look to you as of now?
Well, you see, obviously there is absolutely no doubt, as was pointed out here. One, he got a head start. Second, whether one may agree or disagree, the fact remains that little or big, he had an impact in the recent assembly elections. That is for sure.
Yeah. That
is one reason why, despite being not able to form the government in Delhi, the BJP emerged as a single largest party despite the Aap wave. And it has got something to do with Mr. Modi's, campaigning, intense campaigning. That's why they won more seats.
Government formation in Delhi was just incidental.
Yes.
The BJP had did emerge as the single largest party.
So, absolutely no doubt that Modi enjoys a popularity not only among the core cadres, but there is a sizable section of youth and also the urban voters who are actually, I don't know, for whatever reasons, for you call it hype or whatever, they feel that he is the panacea for a lot of problems. That is why survey after survey, even those done by the Aam Aadmi Party, projected that those people who were voting for Kejriwal as Chief Minister were told them that they would be voting for Modi as the Prime Minister. So they have got a head start. But the emergence of AAP, and not only that, some of the issues that are coming up, like the Snoop Gate and things like that. Now that is somewhere at a very, what do you say, at a different level. It's hurting or it's stopping the Modi juggernaut on its track.
Okay.
You also see a lot of combinations, permutations, arithmetic that is being worked out to stop him.
Okay.
Now, it is very clearly this election, whether it is Congress is going to project Rahul Gandhi or not, whether Aam Aadmi Party is going to put up a big fight, because they have already said that the fight is between AAP and Congress and BJP. Congress doesn't stand anywhere, Aam Aadmi has said. So it makes it clear that it is Modi versus others so far as this Lok Sabha election is concerned. So Modi faces tremendous in terms of, certainly he has that SIT, verdict has come in his favor, and he has tried to, some sort of a regret he has tried to make. They are trying to reach out, but I don't think they would be able to succeed much in that.
Okay.
But the polarization that is created is going to succeed, whether in Uttar Pradesh, the Western UP where the riots took place, or many other parts of the country. The cadre is totally with him. You have, for the first time, the RSS also totally working with the BJP. So Modi on the one side, no doubt, has been able to consolidate all the right-wing forces with him. But on the other hand, there is a whole lot of forces which are totally, targeting Mr. Modi.
Okay.
So it is going to be Modi versus others so far as 2014 elections.
Okay. So you're saying that there's a clear-cut, while there is a clear-cut pro-Modi wave, the party has been spoiled a bit as far as the Modi wave is concerned, and the juggernaut is likely to be stopped. So then there is a fair amount of doubt about Mission 272 Plus. That's essentially we can conclude from that. Mr. Suresh, let's talk about what has been tried to be projected for a very long time as the third front. There were murmurings of a third front in the before the 2009 polls as well. Grand rallies were held, but none of that actually became a reality. Similarly, this time around also, for the past several months, we've had leaders. It is essentially a force, seems to be essentially a force that is backed by the left parties. Sometimes we have Naveen Patnaik sounding in tandem with them. Sometimes we have Jayalalitha. Sometimes we have Mayawati. But what are the chances at this point of time of a non-Congress, non-BJP led formation?
Well, you see, I look at third front as a seasonal frog. You hear about it only during the elections, neither before that or after that. Last year, it was a comic scene. You had Mr. H.D. Devegoda organizing a rally in Tumkur, and after that, they don't even meet. There is no common manifesto. There is no, planning. In fact, Mr. Devegoda wanted a few seats in Uttar Pradesh. But even that was denied by Mayawati. There were confusion whether Mayawati would be the prime ministerial candidate. And even before the election results trickled in, you saw Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy with his face covered. He was rushing to 10 Janpath to extend support. So that was the condition of the third front. And Mr. Sitaram Yechuri went on record saying that it was very it was a mistake on our part to have taken all kinds of, it was a cut and paste kind of job, and this kind of a coalition or alliance does not work. But unfortunately, because left has lost both Kerala and West Bengal, they somehow want to be still relevant at the national politics. So that is why they take this initiative off and on. And this time around they had a rally few months back at Jantar Mantar in which they brought together these leaders. But all said and done, I still believe that in the event of BJP not being able to, reach up to that 272 mark, and the Congress also scoring well below the expected thing, then I would see the Congress backing a motley group of parties led by the Aam Aadmi Party. That is a possible scenario. And where Nitish could also be a candidate, I'm not ruling that out. But there is a possibility that in the event, because Congress in any way, as of the situation prevailing now, unless some miracle happens, it's not in a position to form the government. BJP, it seems very difficult to, in the absence of allies, strong allies, except for your Shiv Sena and Shiromani Akali Dal. TDP I don't consider a significant force now in Andhra Pradesh. It is no more. You don't have any committed allies apart from that. So whether the allies who would be extending support from outside or joining the coalition post-election, they would be able to take the numbers to 272 plus. That remains to be seen. But in the event of that not happening, now this is a scenario projected by Mr. Advani a long time back in his blog, which came in for a lot of criticism, if you remember. And if they are not able to do so, how long the government would last is a different question. It could be a situation like Delhi, where you will have some, Aam Aadmi Party or a Nitish Kumar or somebody, being projected as a minority government with outside support from the Congress.
So that will again be an unstable,
but that would be a very unstable kind of thing that may not, last for more than a few
months. May not be in the best interest of the country, but then that's what the outcome.
There is a possibility in the event of these two parties not coming.
Mr. Suresh, the Aam Aadmi Party's prospects, let us consider separately, since so far there has been no indication that it might be a part of the non-Congress, non-BJP front that has been talked about for a very long time, the seasonal frog that you called it. Delhi saw a massive groundswell in support of the Aam Aadmi Party. Nobody had predicted the numbers that the party eventually managed. Reports are coming that in pockets in various parts of the country there is a groundswell in certain areas, in a lot of areas. But apart from that, the party is also making a conscious effort to reaching out to people's movements. Yogendra Yadav articulated it in one of his interviews that this is a deliberate strategy of getting in people's movements and bringing them to the mainstream. So recently we saw Medha Patkar holding a press conference and announcing the support of the people's, a lot of people's movements, including the Narmada Bachao Andolan. So some strategy is taking shape, although a lot of things are still very grey as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's ideology and its various strategies is concerned. But then, as of now, what are the prospects that you see of Aam Aadmi Party?
Absolutely, they are emboldened by the performance in Delhi and the very fact that they were able to come to power. And you see Yogendra Yadav parked himself in Haryana, and you see all these. But then, how effective at the ground level these people's movements are. Because Medha Patkar carried out a campaign, sustained campaign in Madhya Pradesh, in Gujarat. But then, in terms of her movement delivering a blow to all any government, in whether it is the Congress or the BJP, in any of these states, we could not see any effect so far as the ground level is concerned. Similarly, you have Mallika Sarabhai, joining the party in Gujarat, but they have been campaigning against Modi on the riot issue, but you didn't see much of an impact.
Right.
So, how far, they are big names, no doubt about it, but how far at the ground level they would be able to sway the voters, that remains to be seen. Secondly, India is not Delhi. Delhi was the birthplace of this movement, and Delhi has a cosmopolitan character. But that's not the way politics is done either in Uttar Pradesh or in Tamil Nadu. You have the Dravidian politics, or in Bengal, or in any other part of the country. So it's a totally different. Here they don't have a, you see, Aam Aadmi Party does not represent any particular caste. It does not have caste or religious affiliations as such. So in a country where politics has always been influenced by these factors, immediately how much of, you see, it has got only 2 months left. Its concentration initially would be to capture as many seats in Delhi as possible, where there is a possibility of its getting good number of seats in view of the populist measures. But there is also within a few days of its taking over, already disillusionment is setting in. The Chief Minister is reconciling with a lot of new things which he had promised, but now you will see that a 50% thing, power, that may not happen before May. You have the Janta Darbar which has been finally called off. So the security, again, compromises have to be made. You always see he is surrounded by security people right now. Though he himself says, I don't want any security. People see, and this the opposition is going to exploit, publicize, and to attack him. And that is going to have its effect, because people, so again, the problem is that, you see, when such people come, they come with a lot of expectations, and people expect overnight changes, as if a revolution will happen and everything will be, with a magic wand, he will be able to do things. That doesn't happen. And when that doesn't happen, disillusionment sets in. So I think that to say that they are going to make a huge difference, no. But at the same time, they can be spoilers, particularly for the BJP in urban areas where it has a sizable vote. And it is also just taking like on, if you look at the policies, whether it is the slogan of Vande Mataram to Bharat Mata Ki Jai, to FDI in retail, which has been one of the pet issues of the BJP, you will see that they are encroaching into BJP territory. And that may dent BJP to some extent, certainly in Delhi and in some other parts of the country. Well, I think it's for the after a very long time, elections, something there's a lot of uncertainty about the general elections in the country. It's something that we'll all have to watch out for. I'm afraid that's all we have time for. G Suresh, T.R. Ramachandran, Professor Subrata Mukherjee, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That's all we have for you in this edition of Inside. Thank you so much for watching us, and do stay tuned to Lok Sabha television for more. Namaskar.